Yeah, I've been reading in the Lancet and in other journals how experts have started to do this U-turn on natural immunity. And we've kind of always
Yeah.
believed that the body, you give it what it needs, it can heal itself, and it's well armed and has this wonderful immune system that has the ability to fight infection. Now, the British Medical Journal and the Lancet, they recently published an article stating that protection from past infection against reinfection from the pre-Omicron variants was very high and remained high even after 40 weeks. So I find that very awesome that there has become an honor to the immune system's ability to stand up against these foreign invaders.
Well, this is interesting that they're doing a U-turn on something. My statement on that for a long time has been, well, okay, you're finally turning back to common sense. Um, this, and I want to explain the immune system so people can get this because it's a very complicated system. But
It is.
if you take what I'm saying as a story, and it'll make sense, right? So, God made the world and everything in it to be inhabited by man, woman, m humans. And so everything in the world is created by the hand of God, including viruses, all of them. So we can't say that something mankind created something because mankind can't create because you're using the created thing to create from. Okay, so our immune system is really this intricate, detailed military of Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force, internal, covert, overt operations, and even its ability to sense intruders like border security. Side note, greatest border security we should have is right here in our mouth. You know what you put in it, by the way.
Either help
You
your
know,
immune system or you hurt
yeah.
it by what you allow across the border.
But our immune system is so cool that its ability to see something that it hasn't seen before and adjust to it. And here's what they're talking about, the adjustment to it. Our immune system has a memory. In other words, this has been shown, with SARS-CoV-1 back in 2003. We didn't have the media push around this and vaccine push around that one for a lot of different reasons. But they were able to show people that had a SARS-CoV-1 antibody. They exposed the brave souls to the SARS-CoV-2 antibody or SARS-CoV-2 virus, what we're talking about here. And they found that they were able to adapt and create antibodies to that based upon the similarities of SARS-CoV-1 and SARS-CoV-2. So what does all that mean? That means that our body has the adaptive immune potential to remember what it's been exposed to or what it's seen in the past. And even if it's not exactly the same, it has a memory to be able to look at the similarities and make adjustments and create antibodies. To me, that's extraordinary. But that's something we probably already knew or should have known, right?
Well, I think we have learned that through all of the time with science and medicine. And thank the good Lord that we have
That's right.
come as far as we have with science and with medicine that we have the ability to understand the body's
Yeah.
capabilities.
Yeah, and I think that's where our shortcoming is. I mean, you and I have talked about this many times. We are not anti-vax people. We don't look at vaccines as bad, nor do we think the science thought process in trying to create them was bad. Now, if something becomes all about money and less about people, that's always going to be bad.
That's a totally different story.
Totally. But what happens is what we're trying to do with vaccines is you're trying to create this entry point of these things that we just talked about that the body hasn't seen before and try to initiate the body to create the antibody to that, right? And so that's fascinating to me. Is why, if the system works right, like it should, the body should be able to adapt absent those things. It should be. Now, again, why are our bodies not adapting like they should be? Well,
Yeah,
again,
well, that's
yeah,
one of the things that you alluded to is border security.
totally.
If we're not taking care of what we take across the border, meaning put in our mouth, which goes into our system and it's seen by our immune system, if it doesn't provide the nutrients, the phytonutrients, phytochemicals, the fiber that feeds the gut microbiome and keeps it in a healthy balance, how is the immune system ever really supposed to stand a chance to fight?
Well, it's not. But I appreciate what the Lancet and the British Journal of Medicine are saying there, that maybe we've underestimated the ability of the natural immune system to adapt appropriately. Maybe we're getting in too big of a hurry on things. Maybe we need to rethink what we thought that was true, that we needed that much assistance through multiple vaccines. Maybe there's some there in the middle that we need to understand, that there's an ability of the body that we don't understand all the way yet, meaning that it can adapt in ways that we're never going to get. And you and I are okay with that. I'm okay with not understanding everything, and I don't need to, because I never will.
And what I find exciting is that at the Functional Medical Institute, where we walk people down a pathway of healing, we help them put in place some of those things with border security and make better choices for themselves, so that if those little aggressive invaders come a-knocking, the immune system stands a chance to fight.
Yeah, and we had tremendous success with the COVID situation.
We did.
Because we really effectively treated the body with the way, like, what can we do to make our natural immunity work better? We weren't saying this is bad or good. We're saying, what can we do to improve that? And we did. And we saw people get, a lot better because of it, I think. So whatever you choose to do is fine, but make sure you choose to put in the body what it needs to do what it's supposed to do, so that your own immune system, that we confirm now science is proving, can execute its massive strength, and perhaps your internal military can work a little bit better. That's kind of right, don't you think?
Absolutely. So if you want to find us, reach out, Sherwood.tv. We'd love to help you walk down a pathway of healing.
And when you navigate through these economies with people, here's what happens. We want to hold their hand through it, let them know when it's time to buy, sell, reallocate, get out of Dodge. Because a lot of times when you're struck with fear does two things. Number one, it can paralyze, and people just put their head in the sand and say, I'm just going to forget about it and hopefully it gets better. Or it causes you to make a wrong decision. And this is why we are here, is to help people navigate through the political quagmire nonsense that's going on, the economic malaise, and the absolute collapse that we're seeing. And when our freedoms are eroding, our political freedoms, our economic freedoms, our personal freedoms, our religious freedoms, our health freedoms, they're all tied together. But you know what doesn't need to erode with that? Our finances.
KirkElliottPhD.com/Sherwood.
Hey friends, you already know the answer to this, but we'll ask you anyway. If you stay away from your favorite junk food for a month and then go back to supersizing it, will your health improve?
Well, that's the thing about change. To change, we have to be as consistent as possible.
And when we go back to an old habit, it's not the end of the world. We just get back at the new habit.
Before you know it, real transformation is evident to you and others.
That's why we offer a bunch of helpful bonuses when you subscribe to Kingdom Fuel.
Kingdom Fuel is our complete nutritional meal shake.
It's the simple start to a transformed life, and we'll auto ship every month so you don't run out.
You'll receive 2 free shaker cups, free access to our video courses, and a monthly call with us filled with practical inspiration.
Just see the link below or on your screen and subscribe today.
The body's amazing at recovery, so you want to give it every chance, no matter what time it is. So in that context, no, it's certainly never too late. You're never too old to start trying to be healthy.
No matter where you are in terms of your health, that you can turn this around.
It's never too late to start a wellness program, and it's never too late to reach your healthcare goals. There's an old adage, and I'm not sure where it came from, but I really do like it. And they say the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today.
We just want people to hang on to hope.
We are hope dealers. And if you are not paying attention to the 4 foundational pillars of health, physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual, eventually it is going to catch up.
If we get all those 4 areas right, and we do it right, we see a dynamic occur in the middle called wellness, and that's where people get better. Their health is really going to return as a side effect of wellness.